You're listening to Brainwork Framework, a business and marketing podcast, brought to you by Goosehead Insurance. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Adam.
I hope you're doing well this day.
I hope you're doing just as well.
I'm doing okay. I've had a lot of ups and downs over the last couple months. A lot of downs, a lot of ups, but then downs again. You know, any starting out entrepreneur, I guess, could probably understand and relate to that. And that is going to essentially be the theme of this here podcast.
Isn't entrepreneur just a fancy word for saying you feel bummed out?
Chris, you ignorant slut.
That is perfect. There's ups and downs in business all the time, and it never gets any easier, or does it?
It does. You would think it does. Some people are business owners, very wealthy, very successful. So obviously it gets better some point around there. But, when does that part? And what is a good way to, when you're starting your business, what is a good way to hit the ground running, essentially, to take your business from an idea in your basement out to where people are paying you for it. And that's what I think we're gonna talk about mostly.
I think it boils down to trust, and one of the things that helps support trust is the power of reviews and referrals.
That's right, Chris.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Yes. So the theme of this episode is cheap advertising, basically reviews and referrals, word of mouth advertising, and understanding why it's important and how to get to that spot, how to get from talking about your place to having a customer talk about your place for you. That makes sense?
It does make sense to me.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
Should I do my Nelly read? Your car is slagging around the town, right? And there's a weird smell coming from under the hood. Unless you're an auto mechanic, you're going to need some help. Where you turn? That's right, Google. You search mechanic near me, help me Google, you're my only hope. And first, you will see the paid advertised spots near the top of the page. Then what? How do you know which is best?
So I was watching the telly, right? Up comes this targeted ad. Is your car broke down? I say, quite literally, that is the exact thing I am experiencing. But the point is, once you reach Google, you're going to start looking at some reviews of that spot, that business you're trying to be the solution to your problem.
Absolutely. You look at the reviews first. Most people do. Actually, there was a study that I had found from investcrow.com. 90% of consumers read online reviews before even visiting a business and or the website, and 88% of those consumers trust online views as much as personal recommendations. So just like you said in the beginning, the foundation of this entire process is trust, building trust with you as a salesperson, you as a brand representative, essentially building trust, getting people to understand that they can rely on you to fill this need that they have.
So what if you don't have clients where you can ask for reviews just yet? How do you start getting those clients first? Because it's a chicken or the egg sort of situation. I've heard one bit of advice is to offer your services at such a discounted rate. Explain to them, hey, this is a one-time promo. Just to get clients, I'm going to need your review after this. Once you build up a few of those, then you have your foundation where you can raise your prices and start offering that because you've established trust.
For sure.
Within the community.
For sure. That's not going to always be an option that's available to everybody in every industry.
No, because you can't just lower your prices. You may be selling a product where you can't.
Right. Specifically, I own an insurance agency. I'm an insurance broker. So 25 different companies, I'm quoting people, home, auto insurance, flood insurance, all that crap. And I have no control over the prices. Every carrier sets their prices individually. Mm-hmm. So that is where your idea certainly can help, but you're almost robbing yourself to try and make money, essentially. So it sort of doesn't, it's sort of like a vicious circle.
Right.
You lower your prices, people are going to be like, oh yeah, go to this guy, he's super cheap. And then they go to you, you raised your prices because now you have a little bit of a client. And then all of a sudden you're not super cheap anymore. That referral's dead. Mm-hmm. And neither of those people now are going to want to refer you anymore, which stinks. But having a in a financial service or something like that, where you don't have any control over, say, premiums or interest rates or stuff like that, then it's more trying to build that personal foundation of trust.
Mm-hmm. It's all on you at that point.
Yeah, it's all on you. And I'm learning every flippin' day that there's no secret to success. There's no magical button to success. It's just trying something and then learning if that worked, and if it didn't work, if it didn't change, if it did, keep doing that. Then it makes sense.
That's brilliant.
It is brilliant. I'm a fucking genius. So, yes. So basically when I started, if your car's broken down, you go to Google, mechanic near me, help me Google, and my car's broken down, whatever. And again, you're going to get the top paid advertising spots because that's just how Google works. We'll touch that in a different episode for sure. Or you might go on social media and ask, like, hey, my car broke down. Anybody have a recommendation for a mechanic? Now, if you're like me, your post just gets 2 likes and no one actually recommends anything. But a lot of folks will comment, start tagging people or businesses that they've had a positive experience with, or the ones that they recommend you should avoid. So try not to be on that list. And this is, whether or not you know it, this is advertising, free advertising at that, for your business that is being tagged and recommended.
I think you brought up a great point, asking for referrals or reviews from other people, recommendations. And one thing you brought up was people are going to tell you where not to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading an online study that said if someone has a positive experience, they're going to tell 1 to 2 people. If someone has a negative experience, they're going to tell 8 to 10 people.
Right.
Stresses the importance of the foundation that you build has to be review-worthy, referral-worthy customer experience, customer service. You have to do everything right 1,000 times over in order to have just that small chance that you're going to get referred to 1 or 2 people.
And it is a small chance. None of it's guaranteed at all ever, but you can work the referral process into your sales process.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I like to do is when I'm quoting people, they either call me or they're referred to me. I just say, hey, how'd you hear about my office? Because that I need to know where A, my marketing dollars are working, and B, if it was a referral, because then I got to reach out to that person and thank them for the referral.
Mm-hmm.
And then, right there, if it is a referral, I like to say, a lot of people are referred to me by friends and family. So after we're done here, if there's a couple of people you can think of, let me know and I'll get to work with them. And that works. It really works. Now, if I'm way too expensive or something, or we just get off on the wrong foot because, every personality doesn't match with every personality, no matter how good you think you are, you're just not going to win them all. And, ask for the referral. That's so important. What was it? Something from Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie is a gentleman who wrote several books that are over 100 years old. A lot of his books have something to do with Abraham Lincoln or some shit. Very old, but the practices and premises and foundation of his advice and stuff is absolutely still relevant. Here we go. So Dale Carnegie, he wrote the How to Win Friends and Influence People and other books like that. So he said 91% of people would be willing to offer referrals, but only 11% of people ask for them. So imagine 91 out of every 100 of your most recent clients personally referred a friend, family member, or colleague. How would that impact your business?
That's 91 clients.
That's 91 extra clients from just doing your normal business, Right. You ask 100 people for a referral and 91 of those people give you a referral. Holy crap. How much marketing dollars do you have to spend to get 91 clients, A lot. And depending on your industry, it could be a hell of a lot. It could be a little bit depending on what you're doing, how much volume you're trying to generate, all that such.
But just simply making the ask, that's free. It just takes up your time. One little email, one little phone call, one little mention at the end of the service.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it can be same with reviews. Reviews generally after the fact, after the sale, after the service, whatever. Mm-hmm. Say, hey, I hope you had a great experience with me. Thank you for the opportunity to earn your business. I hope this experience was exceptional. I'm often referred to friends and family of my clients. Are there two or three people you can think of to benefit from my service? Also, if you wouldn't mind going on Google, just leaving me a review so that other folks that come upon me might understand the experience that you had as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's really important. Making that
Mm-hmm.
asking for a favor from one of your clients. If you had great service, please help me out now. And now it's your turn to ask for a favor. Some of the tips that I like to make that process easier for clients to give you a review is you just explained it perfectly. When you email them, you're following up, you're thanking them first. Thank them first for being a client. I'd like to make a reference to something personal, refer back to the product or service that you provided. Again, just nurturing and building that relationship a little bit more. But when you ask, hey, can you go to this place to leave a review? You should really leave a link to that review platform. Can't just say, oh, go on, search me on Facebook or just Google my business and I should be there. No, leave the actual link to the review section to make it so much easier for them to leave a review. In addition to that, sometimes you need to get their creative juices flowing just a little bit. And I like to copy and paste a previous review from another client in case they're not sure how to put the words together.
Mm-hmm.
This is what someone else said about me. And I like to remind them, can you copy and paste that same review to multiple platforms? Not all of them do, but if it gets you an extra 1 or 2 reviews on another platform, that's just an opportunity for your business to be seen and build that trust.
That's very true. That's very true. Because with mine, my company sends an email after I write something saying, leave a review for your agent. So they will, but it goes to my microsite, which I don't really have a lot of traffic going to.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to personally ask them to go to my Google, send them an email, like you said, with the link. Click this link and immediately goes to the thing. You can find that on your Google business page. Leave a link for the Facebook group that you're in, or the Facebook page that you have, or whatever your social media is, Instagram, whatever. They can leave a review or comment on your business about their positive experience. You have to make it as idiot proof for them as possible.
Mm-hmm.
See, here's the thing. When you're a service provider or a salesperson, you have to look at everybody basically like they're a potential customer. And everybody is a customer to somebody else essentially, right? So you got to kind of put yourself in their shoes when you're trying to service them or sell them something. Put yourself in their shoes. How much do you like to be sold? Not a lot of people like to be sold. A lot of that shit comes through conversation and just like trying to through a personal, friendly conversation, finding out what they're struggling with that you might be able to help. Or it's even better is if you make it a point for yourself and your network to refer out to other businesses. You're going to help that business with the free word of mouth marketing that we're talking about right now. So you're being a marketer for that, cheerleader for that business. And then that person you're referring sees, oh, okay, all they have is my best interest in mind. They're not selling me nothing right now. They don't want nothing from me. They heard I'm struggling. They're going to connect me with that person that can maybe help me. And then you just sit in the background, don't do nothing, but then follow up with that person in a couple days or something. Hey, how'd that go? Great. Can I review your insurance now? And then it's
perfect. Generally
generally really quiet and awkward. Like, well, I was just looking for a vacuum. Whatever.
So stay away from vacuum sales is what you're saying.
Yeah, dude, do you remember those old, wasn't Hoover, was it? I mean, Hoover was a vacuum, but it wasn't the Hoover brand. I feel like there was a different brand, like door-to-door vacuum salesman.
Was it Kirby?
Yeah, that's it, Kirby. When I was younger, a Kirby guy came to my house. I ended up watching the Bucks game with my dad because it was on, and he's door-to-door salesing and stuff, and we bought one. We bought a vacuum. All he did was sit there and watch the Bucks game. My dad wrote him a check for like $1,000 right then and there for a fucking vacuum.
That's wonderful.
Right. That is wonderful. And then, we have this product, which does speak for itself. Kirby vacuums are awesome. Especially way, 20 years ago and stuff like that. There's these big honking things and shit. And now my vacuum is twice as powerful and cordless. And I just, it's like a little gun. You just walk around. So
Right.
Whatever. So anyways, vacuums. If you're a Kirby vacuum salesman, I apologize. I didn't mean anything.
So you're saying selling is just as easy as going to someone's house, watching a game with them, and asking for the sale? It sounds that easy is what you're saying. And if you had a good experience, they're going to refer you out.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to refer you out, especially if you ask for it. Ask for the referral. In a smaller sort of scale kind of business, like a wedding DJ, independent insurance broker, financial service, somebody who does planning and life insurance and stuff like that. A lot of times, you're not going to see a lot of commercials for that shit. You'll see like State Farm, Allstate, American Family. They spend the millions of dollars on their national marketing and stuff like that. And then, on the agency level and stuff, they basically have to pay it back. But for smaller things, you don't get that. You don't have those commercials where people recognize your jingle or something like that. You don't have that. So it is so important to visualize a couple different ways of how you can imagine your service, your product can get out to the people you want it to. So step one, visualize the people you're trying to market to. You don't have to have a very specific niche if you can't have one right away, but at least have an idea of your clientele. So that way you're not just throwing grenades in the water hoping to get a fish. You can sort of narrow down the scope of your efforts and kind of just go from there. But it all starts with trust, providing a service that people are going to want to talk about. So that's why referrals and reviews are so important. I'm sure we made that pretty apparent at the moment. So what would you say? We kind of talked a few different ways to ask for referrals. What would you say is one of the best ways to ask for a referral?
I never really ask for referrals, if I could be quite honest. What I do is I provide such great service that a referral becomes kind of like an unspoken agreement. If I provide something worthy enough of a referral, I will get a referral. And I've had tons of referrals. It's been wonderful. I'll hear from a certain couple, oh, we were just at the wedding you did 3 months back. Now we're getting married. I even had a couple who booked me, hadn't seen me perform yet, but already referred me to another couple because they enjoyed the customer service so much already. They said, this guy, simple and easy, good price. So that's the ways that I have been asking for referrals. I ask for reviews all the time. It starts with that thank you email, the follow-up. Usually it's the night of the wedding. After I'm speaking with the couple, how did everything go? Were you happy with everything? If they had a positive experience, I'm going to say, I'm going to shoot you an email with places to leave a review. And they're like glowing, ready to leave it. Like, that's what I want to do. So I don't necessarily make the personal ask for a referral, but that's something I can start integrating into some of my current marketing efforts. Maybe do like an email blast every quarter or something, asking previous clients, hey, if you had a great experience, know anyone getting married, feel free to send out my information. But again, right now it's just happening naturally, and it's been working out great so far.
Right. So you don't ask for the referrals, but you do specifically ask for the reviews.
Yes.
Which probably leads to referrals.
It does eventually,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So both are very equally important. You don't ask for referrals. In my sort of profession, I do ask for referrals. You kind of have to, because insurance isn't one of those things that people are super excited to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not. You don't want it. You need it. Do you need it? You don't want to pay for it. That guy's trying to sell me shit. It's me. So, like providing trust by building that great onboarding experience before you even sell them anything or service anything. Make them comfortable with you, and be transparent with your process. And hopefully, if you have reviews from previous things, you can always direct them towards your reviews as well.
That's huge too.
Like, hey, send them a link to your Google business page with all the reviews you have gotten on there. And I mean, assuming they're not all 1 and 2 stars, if they are, get good. But
Do better.
do better.
Which is something we could touch on in a minute. Following up to a bad review, because they can happen.
They will happen, unfortunately, because again, everybody's different. You can't please everybody. Even if you did everything right, somebody can be slighted in the weirdest way. But it can really come off, and even if it's a slight misunderstanding, can screw up everything. So asking for the reviews can lead to referrals. Asking your referrals to check out your reviews can lead to more referrals. So it can be like a cycle kind of thing. People who are referred to you, if they leave a review, other people will look at that review, and it acts as a different type of referral, essentially.
100%.
an experience-based referral.
I love it.
I hate sushi, and I didn't know I hated sushi until I tried sushi. I never would have went out and sought after a sushi restaurant, but a friend of mine was like, "Hey, let's go try sushi. I really like this place." So I'm like, "Okay." So I go, pay for their sushi. I eat the sushi, most of it, and I was just like, "What the hell? Can you cook this food for me, please?" They didn't do it, so whatever.
Can I have that sushi roll deep fried?
Yeah, right. No shit. That's a fish stick. So, but still, I went to this place. I paid for food. I had an experience there. Not my personal cup of tea, but that business got my money because somebody enjoyed and was just like, "Hey, I know this place. Let's go there."
Mm-hmm.
That's a referral. It's as simple as that.
Now, even though you don't like sushi, if someone were to ask you, are there any good sushi spots around? Is there a place you would recommend?
Well, yeah. I mean, I only have experience with that one thing, and even though the food I didn't care for because it's sushi, it's particular, but the people were nice. The place was clean. It looked nice, appealing aesthetically. So yeah, if you're searching for sushi, you might find what you're looking for here, kind of thing. And that business did nothing other than provide good service to my friend, who then referred me, who then, if somebody asked me, I would refer them just because I had a good experience. It's that simple, but that simplicity is so profound in your success when you're starting out. It's probably overlooked a lot. I mean, like I said, 11% of people ask for referrals, but 91% of people would be willing to give one. So don't be one of those 89% of people that don't ask for a referral. Be part of the 11%ers.
Right. Start asking.
Now, you had brought it up. We get a review. Somebody goes on Google, and maybe say their insurance went up, and I can't do anything for you, man. I'm sorry. You got 3 speeding tickets and a drunk driving thing. You're lucky you can still drive. What do you want me to do about it? I can't get them cheaper rates, so they leave me a poor review on Google. What do I do there?
Well, I think in that situation, you got to decide if it's a real review or not. Sometimes a competitor or a bot will spam your profile. If it's real, you're going to want to take a look into the situation a little bit further. See if there was some service recovery maybe that you can do. Maybe you need some more information on the incident to really find out what happened. First, you're going to want to remove that client from any marketing lists that you might have already until you figure out what's going on a little bit more. Any sort of email marketing is just going to irritate them further, and they may take that one bad review on one place and start copying and pasting that to 10 other platforms because you just pissed them off even more. But really, you got to look into the situation, gather more details, and figure out what happened. Is it something that was in your control or out of your control? Obviously, insurance rates going up, happening to everyone, not specific to that person. So at that point, there's not much you can do. Maybe you can respond politely and professionally to that person, explain the situation a little bit more. So that way, the public-facing image that people are going to see is that, oh, that was out of their control. They responded politely and professionally, and I would consider them still for an option for insurance because they might be cheaper for me. So you don't want to lose out on that situation. After you kind of gather all those details, you're going to actually want to reach out to that client again for a little bit more information. But first, you want to thank them for the feedback, paraphrase anything that they said in the review, the issues or concerns they had, so that way they feel like they are heard. Again, follow up for more info and see what you can do to recover that service if possible. Is there anything you can do to help make that situation better where that client would then reconsider you? Because sometimes they just need to vent, they get it out, and then they're like, okay, I've come to my senses, I've calmed down, maybe we can work together. You might be able to provide a discount, an apology, or anything else that might recover that relationship going forward. Obviously, it's not always possible, but you do what you can. You try to follow up and follow through on that. Take them off your marketing list. Make sure you don't irritate them further. Remind yourself that one bad review, it's just one. Even if you get a couple, just try to get more 5-star reviews to balance all those out.
Right, and that's the worst too, man. If you have like 20 reviews and they're all 5 stars and you get that one that one that's not a 5-star, suddenly your whole thing goes down to like 4.8.
Right.
You're like, damn it.
Right.
And then, and you know, if that were to happen, give up and try something different because you obviously are terrible at this.
And you got to look at it from what the community sees or a potential client might see. What's the standard? Is it the 25-star reviews, or is it that one exception to the rule? You know, is great customer service the standard, or is it that one bad experience that someone had? And as long as you try to mitigate the damage a little bit, do some damage control, people will see that and ignore it, basically. They'll say, okay, that one person's experience probably isn't the standard. If you have a thoughtful reply, they may not even bring that up ever again. If someone has follow-up questions, they may ask you, someone you worked with gave you a bad review, what happened here? So you might need to do a little PR work there. But if you do it right the first time, you shouldn't be having a lot of bad reviews.
Sure. But again, it's not always entirely in your control as far as the customer's experience. Everything you can try to do everything possible to make it as 10 stars as you can. But people have different expectations, different past experiences, which lead them to different expectations, all that stuff. So, I mean, I've personally, you know, I go to a Google thing and I'll see they have, 4.3 stars or something out of 5. So I'll go look and I'm like, you know, out of every 5-star review, there's like a 3-star review or a 2-star review. And definitely if the company responds to those in a way like, hey, you know, super sorry you had this experience. Can you call me to figure it out? You know, those are always, okay, yeah, you're right. You move on. That doesn't count then. You know, like it exists, like you said. But I have seen some where it's like the owner of the business goes back and attacks the customer.
Right.
For, you know, not necessarily for leaving a bad review, but kind of just referring to the incident that led to the bad review.
Oh, sure.
Rather than just being professional about it or, you know, anything. Just like, anything is like, I'm really sorry you had that experience. I'd love to make it up for you. Give us a call at blah, 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 blah. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything else with that. You don't have to nurture that person because they already don't want to be your client, you know?
Right.
Or they've already been your client and they had their experience and they're done.
But what's most important is what the community sees.
Right.
Even if that upset client contacts the owner and the owner chooses, I'm just going to chew you out a second time. I just didn't want to see it online for the world to see. Well, boom, that's fine.
Yep.
But the community never knows that.
Right. And what mama don't know won't hurt her.
That's right. 52.
All right. Let's see. Where are we at here? Okay. So different types of referrals. So there's the direct referral. The word of mouth marketing is kind of what we've been talking about this whole time. And then, so that's, you know, people have an experience. They talk to their friends about it, blah, blah, blah. Online customer reviews and testimonials. That's what we just got done talking about. How important it is to ask for those and to make it as easy as possible for people to leave you reviews and testimonials on your social media or online presence. And then a third one is incentive-based referrals. And this I see a lot, especially in my industry and other sales industries, which is actually probably the least effective in the long term. But you might get a quick dump of potential leads, but they're all going to be very cold. And they're all going to be, 90% of them are going to just be a waste of everybody's time. And what I mean by that is like you go to a vendor fair or something like that, farmer's market, and you set up your tent there and you say, hey, give me your name and phone number and email address and I'll enter you to win this Bluetooth speaker thing or whatever. So then, yeah, people give you their email and phone stuff because they want to win the speaker. But your intention is to use that name, phone number, and email to market to them. A lot of times, those people, they don't want to be marketed to. They just want to potentially win that thing. So when you get that sort of information from people, you're not getting it for the right reasons. So again, you're gonna end up with 100 names, but maybe only 5 of those people are interested maybe in what you're selling.
Right.
But it can be a trust builder for your community.
Because you can nurture them for the months, days, years to come.
Right.
In order to build that trust and earn their business later on.
Right. Especially if you do it consistently, like you're always at that farmer's market once a month or something like that, or you're always at this craft fair or whatever. Not selling anything, but just, trying to gather people's information to prospects, essentially.
Yeah.
You're prospecting. That's what you're doing.
They're like, hey, it's the Bluetooth speaker guy. What's up?
Right. Bluetooth speaker guy. Unfortunately, like, I don't sell Bluetooth speakers. So being known for that, it's probably not the best, which again is why incentive-based marketing and referrals are probably the least effective.
So you're saying people will do anything for a prize or money?
Yes.
Yeah.
People will do anything for a prize or money, no matter how little it is or how big it is. So what I found, some of the ways to kind of weed that out is if you're doing those incentive-based marketing opportunities, events and stuff, and you're having people give you their name information to enter into it, I always suggest have a little box at the bottom there saying, are you interested in insert your intention with their information?
Mm-hmm.
Like me, are you interested in getting a home and auto insurance quote? And then that way, the people that didn't check yes, I'm still going to put their name, number, and information in my CRM to potentially market to them later down the road. The drip marketing, sort of like that.
But not as heavily with someone with that intention already.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of differentiates between a marketing qualified lead that's just standard regular marketing versus a sales qualified lead where they showed intent already. So like you said, much more marketable with different materials.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it's all the same thing. You're still doing the incentive-based marketing. You're still there out in your community. Getting your name out there is such a big deal. Because again, that's how you start to build that trust. When you're in an oversaturated market like myself, or you sell financial services, or you're a banker or something, or a mortgage lender, your entire business relies on the people's perception of you, of how well they think they're going to be able to trust you with that important stuff to them.
Mm-hmm.
And going out and doing these events and making yourself known and stuff like that is definitely a great way to do it. It's just that's probably not going to that's not what's going to lead to your business booming overnight. The incentive-based marketing ones are the ones you have to be consistent with, and you have to kind of keep at it and keep going at it, because you might not win that client right then and there, but they're going to remember your name the next time it comes up when their insurance renews and it went up $50. Like, oh, maybe I'll give that guy a call. I remember him. So
I'm gonna call Mr. Bluetooth and see what he's got.
Yeah. Yeah. Adam Morris, Insurance and Bluetooth Services.
We now offer cell phone plans.
All right, so we've covered so far direct referral, word of mouth, online customer reviews and testimonials, and incentive-based referrals.
And we also covered tips for getting a review.
Tips for responding to a bad review. So I guess that's pretty much it for this one. This episode is called Talk is Cheap Advertising, because we're clever. And I hope that now you understand, at least a little bit more importantly, the power of a referral and a review, how one can lead to another, and how this type of marketing is essentially free. It's free marketing, yet it is the most conducive to new business. Would you agree?
Second most. Email marketing is the first.
You would say that's the most effective?
Yes.
Email marketing is the most effective.
Highest return on investment. Yeah.
We'll catch the next episode where we talk about email marketing and the benefits and drawbacks of that. Thanks for listening. Don't die on the toilet. We don't have to leave that part in.
Well, thanks again for listening. Go biz yourself.
Make sure you clean up your biz.
For a bigger, stronger, faster biz.
Try Bounty.
Try Biz PM. Biz DM.
Hit DM.